Remember when we were kids? We used to ride bikes, play jump rope, and create our own games. Today, it seems like kids are growing up with iPads glued to their hands. Gone are the days of spontaneous outdoor play, but if you set that aside, the lost generation of iPad kids is more than just a group of children with screens in their hands. Each generation is unique. From how they act to how they communicate, it's all influenced by the world they grow up in. And now, with the rise of Generation Alpha, things are taking an interesting turn. What will become of them, you ask? Before we begin, my name is Mr. Scape, and if you enjoyed this video, it would be greatly appreciated if you liked and subscribed. Generations change over time because of the world they grow up in. Each group has its own traits shaped by what happens during their childhood and young adulthood. The silent generation learned resilience and loyalty through tough times like the Great Depression. Baby boomers are known for their optimism and ambition, experiencing a time of big changes and economic growth. Generation X grew up with new technology and shifting family dynamics, making them independent and adaptable. Millennials value technology, teamwork, and meaningful experiences, living in a time of rapid change and uncertainty. Meanwhile, Generation Z, born from 1997 to 2012, is the first to fully embrace the digital world, often seen as socially aware and entrepreneurial. It's easy to see the differences of each generation. From the way they act to the way they talk, it's clear that things change from time to time. It's mostly because of the environment they grew up in or the societal problems they have to face. So let's meet the newest generation and understand what's really happening to them these days. We've seen Generation X, Millennials, and Generation Z, but now it's time for Generation Alpha to shine. Born from 2010 onwards, they are the first generation fully growing up in the 21st century. The term iPad kids was coined by Mark McCrindle, who explained that they are not a return to the old, but the start of something new. So why are they called iPad kids? Well, it's simple. Generation Alpha grew up in a fully digital world right from the launch of the first iPad. Their lives are filled with screens and it's shaping the way they interact with the world. Let's take a closer look at these iPad kids. One key thing is that they are true digital natives, just like their predecessors in Generation Z. But Generation Alpha takes it a step further. With the rise of artificial intelligence, driverless vehicles, and virtual reality, their world is more technologically advanced than ever. Another interesting aspect is their intelligence. Generation Alpha is self-aware thanks to their early exposure to the digital world. They're having serious conversations about online safety at a young age. While it's too early to tell if they'll be more responsible online, they are fully aware of the addictive nature of social video apps like TikTok and YouTube. Remember those days when the TV had an almost hypnotic hold over our little ones? The iPad has become the ultimate attention magnet, drawing kids into a world of endless games, videos, and yes, the occasional educational app. Here's the catch: while these iPad kids are social butterflies in the virtual world, navigating through video calls, Fortnite adventures, and Minecraft kingdoms, real-life social skills might be a bit trickier to master. Tantrums, addiction-like behaviors, and a growing dependence on gadgets, it's a real issue. The subtleties of face-to-face communication, the art of understanding emotions, and the awkwardness of small talk, yeah, those might take a bit more practice. Thanks to the iPad, our little ones have developed an insatiable appetite for instant responses and constant stimulation. Waiting patiently for a meal at a restaurant or getting stuck behind a slow walker? Let's just say patience isn't exactly their strong suit. Kids swipe, they tap, they command, and sometimes that sense of control spills over into their real-world interactions. Thanks to the instant nature of digital interactions, these kids have developed a need for speed and constant stimulation. Real-world situations that require patience become a struggle. How does this affect their ability to handle everyday scenarios without immediate results? The rise of what we call iPad kids is no joke. With busy parents turning to technology as a quick fix, it's no wonder these little ones are glued to their screens. There's an epidemic with all the gadgets. Kids today are growing up in an era where personal devices are the norm. From smartphones to tablets, technology is everywhere, even in classrooms. This wasn't the case back then. But while technology offers countless benefits, there's a dark side to its overuse, especially among young children. As toddlers, kids' minds are like sponges, soaking up everything around them to learn and grow. But when screens become a substitute for human interaction and playtime, it can hinder their emotional and social development. Numerous studies have shown the harmful effects of excessive screen time on children's cognitive abilities and behavior. The pandemic forced schools to shift to remote learning, intensifying the isolation and screen time experienced by Generation Alpha. This unpredictable situation has profoundly affected these youngsters, hindering their emotional, mental, and social development. With limited outdoor experiences and increased reliance on screens, the generation is grappling with an overflow of pent-up energy within the confines of the classroom. Unlike previous generations, Generation Alpha misses out on the traditional childhood experiences of playing outdoors with peers. Their lack of exposure has left them with an absence of curiosity, kindness, and respect. Instead, these kids display challenges in self-control and emotional regulation, significantly impacting their social skills and academic performance. The excessive use of electronic devices has become a defining factor in shaping this generation. Adding to the problem, millennial parents, often juggling demanding work schedules, have unintentionally facilitated their children's excessive screen time. The resulting lack of interference has led to a generation of deficient in basic manners and literacy skills. Today's parents are struggling to find a balance between work demands and actively engaging in their children's digital lives. We've all noticed these changes in Gen Alpha's behavior. Sometimes we're even scared to confront this. It turns out they are growing up in a different world, and some say it's because they lack a bit of parental guidance. Many parents seem to be struggling to see the issue, and sometimes they even dismiss concerns from teachers. Instead of addressing the problem, some parents label teachers as old and jaded, thinking they are unfairly judging their kids. The truth is, technology isn't going away. It's evolving fast, and we need to keep up. But with great innovation comes great responsibility, especially for parents and caregivers. It's crucial to find a balance between tech use and real-world experiences for our little ones. It might be tempting to hand a screen to your child for a quick fix, but experts warn against it. Science shows that excessive screen time can affect their development. So what's the key? Moderation. Instead of mindless TV or short YouTube videos, consider incorporating educational content. It's not about avoiding screens altogether, but rather making smart choices. It's disheartening to know that the traits associated with technology-obsessed children are overwhelmingly negative. Why do guardians ever continue to allow premature access to technology? Honestly, there's no straightforward answer, but one contributing factor is the demanding nature of modern employment, as highlighted by recent studies. Many parents today are overworked and exhausted. With demanding full-time careers and work-obsessed culture, they find it challenging to spend quality time with their children. Tablets become a convenient solution, providing entertainment for kids while parents catch a breather. Modern parenting trends often lean towards being permissive, blurring the lines between authority figures and friends. When anxiety rises about excessive screen time, some parents find themselves ill-equipped to handle the situation. It's important for parents to strike a balance and be aware of the consequences of unlimited tech use. Can you imagine what will happen when parents try to limit screen time? Tantrums, silent treatments, and even attempts to run away become common reactions. You see, when it's too late, it's really late. Kids are drawn to games like Roblox, Minecraft, and YouTube due to their engaging visuals and sounds. YouTube, with channels like Cocomelon and Dave and Ava, takes the crown for brain activation. These fast-paced animations can be captivating, creating an almost drug-like effect on young minds. Now we're wondering, what's in store for Generation Alpha's future? At least there are some advantages. It's predicted that Generation Alpha will be the most entrepreneurial generation yet. With early exposure to information, people, and resources, many Alphas will kickstart their own ventures even before reaching double digits. Despite some initial failures, these young entrepreneurs will gain valuable experience, setting them up for success in their later years. Growing up in a world dominated by technology, they will be true tech-savvy pioneers. Introduced to mobile phones before their teenage years, they will take our current technology for granted. Mobile phones, with their sophistication, will become the primary tool for alphas, leading to a preference for mobile-friendly websites and applications that are visually appealing and easy to use. Online shopping will be the norm for Generation Alpha, reducing their face-to-face interactions compared to previous generations. It's how life is now, actually. Despite being the most connected generation, Alphas may face psychological challenges, feeling a sense of loneliness amidst their digital connectivity. On top of that, Generation Alpha will be heavily influenced by their Gen X and Y parents, potentially having older parents due to delayed marriages and childbirth. Raised to feel special, their parents' influence will guide their choices. Marketers and employers seeking to connect with alphas will need to include parents in their strategies. They might actually be the best generation yet if you minus all the screen time. In looking at how kids grow up, Generation Alpha is a whole new breed. With the right guidance, they could blossom into something amazing. In the end, the future of these iPad kids remains uncertain. Will they struggle with emotional maturity, or will they emerge as tech-savvy innovators? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, as we navigate this age of technology, it's crucial to be mindful of how we introduce and manage screen time for our children. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe.